Where are you going, dude? Oh crap, it's hitting leaves. Okay, started to hit leaves right there. Woo! Ooh, don't. Oh, frick. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Check it out, the Air 3S. We're gonna do a full-on flight test today. Remember, this thing has some low light sensors, so we're gonna try some low light flights as well for obstacle avoidance. It also has better camera and a few other cool little doodads. It's got that one sensor on the front, that LiDAR, that new one. So we're gonna test all this stuff out, test out all the features, see how this thing is really performing in its upgraded fashion, and get some nice views up here on the mountain. Let's do it. All right, so I'm recording the screen for you guys so you can see what's going on. So clicking and holding this button right in the middle of the screen. There we go. Pretty silent in, you know, the larger DJI drone fashion. Let's just get a nice look at it flying before we start doing everything. So, Air 3S, guys, that's how it looks. Flying in the air as usual, just spot on. Okay guys, so I'm gonna have like the screen up recording and everything so you can see everything there is to know about this guy. And we're just gonna kind of fly around here. You can see the sensors, those sensors are giving us notification on the screen. I wanted to do the review up here in the mountains just so you guys that are fans of this type of view could appreciate it. But yeah, let's just kind of fly around as usual. I mean, it feels great, but I'm just kind of looking at the camera. I want to see how stable it is and if they've kind of, how they have improved. This is all the way down rotation on my left trigger. I'm going to pull down hard. And yeah, we're coming down at about 6 miles per hour. Cool. So we're in normal mode right now, and this is kind of like some of the AR that's come up. You see that little drone thing on the screen? That's kind of where it thinks the drone is, right above the ground. It's like a little AR icon, which is kind of cool. We want to start with just some standard obstacle avoidance tests. So I'm going to get kind of in front of me here. If you look on the options here, I just wanted to show you we're in bypass mode. And this is the mode I usually try to stay in. It's just if you're gonna fly into something, it looks for a path and it actually will go around it. So we'll stay in that and we'll just kind of do a collision test. We're just gonna go forward straight into me and see what the drone does. See how it chose to go to its left, and so it didn't run into me. I'm gonna do a reverse, and this is a cool feature that I don't think I've shown before. If we go into the map here on the bottom left, you see that there? I just clicked on it a few times, and you can look at those obstacle avoidance sensors. So I'm gonna make that large and check that out. Isn't that cool, guys? You can see me behind it, and these are the cameras that are actually it's using for obstacle avoidance, and you can press these arrows to switch and actually see out of those cameras, which I think is a cool feature. This has been around for a while, but I don't think I've shown this yet. So I'm gonna pull straight back, and I'll have that camera up on the screen. You can also see the front camera in the small box. Pulling straight back, and it's choosing just to kind of meander to my right and kind of miss me. So, you know, wouldn't have guessed any different. Those are all gonna work great. That's kind of cool. As I pull down, it switched to the downward camera. That was neat. See that little arrow on the top right for the downward camera? So what I want to do now is I want to turn the drone and check out these side sensors and see how it is at side obstacle avoidance. So I'm going to click the left side arrow, and I'm going to center myself right in that little dot, and I'm just going to push left on the right stick. Same thing. Awesome. So it looks like it's staying about 3 feet away from my head. I'm gonna press the right arrow now, and let's try the other side. So as you can see, we can see the propeller in view. You could check your propellers if you wanted to for some reason. I go down a bit, so it's just gonna come straight at me. Seems like when you press down, it switches to that downward camera. So let's get back and press to that right camera. So pressing to the right, and it's gonna choose a path, and that time it decided to go to the right of me, about 3 feet from my head. I'm gonna change to the other camera. So all this obstacle avoidance is working great. Let's do a fast obstacle avoidance since we're at it. Get down to my level here, and I'm just gonna crank it full stick forward, and let's see what it does. So I am, what, 43 feet away, full stick in normal mode forward, boom. Yeah, so it chose to go to the left, so no problem. Unless somebody walks into the drone, you know, like this, and tries to hit the propeller, that's really the only way that somebody's gonna get hurt. I wanna try this. I wanna put my hand over the top. Hopefully you can see all this. And I'm going to push up. It's not letting the drone go up. It doesn't even want to find a route around it. And I'm pushing full up on the stick. It's starting to try to inch its way up. Pull my hand away and I'm still holding up on the stick. And it just blasted away, fell. Awesome. So all these sensors are working great. So let's try some other things, guys, like tracking and all that stuff. And we're trying to keep an eye on how the camera's looking, right? So obviously if you're going into the sun, you're gonna see a little bit of shade. So I'm gonna get to the unshaded area. If you look at the cloud line over there to the left, that is how it's level. You see those clouds? That's actually kind of level. So I'm just standing on a hill that's sloping down. Let's just draw a box around. There we go. And we want to just test out a few of these tracking functions. We know they all kind of work, but let's just try POI first. Crank it up. I know a lot of you, this is repetitious for you, but I just want to see how smooth it can be and if they've maybe improved the dampening or anything like that. Let's just pull out. So I'm pulling the right stick out to get a wider berth. And this will be interesting. I want to come down and I want to see if it'll run into that hill or what happens. So I'm pulling down on it as much as possible and nothing's happening. Interesting. So it knows how far to stay off the floor or the ground so it doesn't crash into anything. So that's awesome. I also want to do, you know, a test like this and then put an obstacle in the way and then see if it will actually avoid it. Just clicking on that green thing so you can stop it like that. Then you kind of lose the whole subject. Clicking back on the box because it kind of remembers me here. Let's do kind of a spotlight. And spotlight's kind of like a tripod. It's on spotlight by default. And it's already recording. So you really don't have to do anything except click on a subject. And then you're just basically, it's tracking the subject, right? It's gonna keep me in view, track me. And the cool thing about this is I can move the drone anywhere I want with the sticks and it will try to keep me in track. Like I can just turn it, rotate, like I'm just manually flying it right now. And it's choosing to kind of keep me in view. Okay, there's a nice view of the west side coastline. Beautiful today. All right, so that's a spotlight, just kind of like an aerial tripod. And let's try active track. Tap here to expand trace wheel. Kind of easily just position your drone into a tighter circle or whatever when you're tracking. Next, so it has this little tutorial we gotta get through first. So I'm gonna click on it. Let's have it track and stay in the front. I'm gonna go a little bit closer. I'm gonna press F. There we go. So this is F far, front far. So this is the kind of stuff it does. Like, so say you're tracking a vehicle, tracking you riding a bike. So now see how it's trying to spin around to the left? So that's interesting. So it detected which the left side of me is and decided to go that way as I turned around. But I want it to be, remember, on the sun side. So I'm pressing right again. And it's gonna work its way around to the sunny side for better filming. It actually drops its altitude to keep that position in the air, or if it's just gonna stay up. Yeah, it's coming down. Went from 37 to 27 right now. I'm looking at the height, guys, on the bottom left. So it's smart enough to do that. That's good. All right, cool. Maybe before we return to home, we'll X out of here and we'll get some zooming done. So there we go. There's a nice view of the coastline, the West Mountains. I'm taking the right roller on my controller and I'm rolling it forward, or to the right actually. And that's maxed out. So you can go, on the first camera, you can go up to 2.9 times. You see how it gets a little bit pixelated, but you can still zoom in and out here. So I'm zooming all the way out, and you can go anywhere in between. It's pretty variable. So I'm just slowly pushing the roller and it's doing kind of a smoother zoom. But that's the max on this camera. Remember, this has also a telephoto lens which can go further. I'm just barely pushing it to get that smooth transition. So now on the right of the screen, I'll circle it for you so you can see what's happening. I can't press on the 3 while it's recording video, so I'm going to stop the video recording on the drone. Still have my controller up. And you see how that 3 lit up white? Now I'm going to switch to that 3 right there. And this is where we can really start to zoom in. So that's just the West Mountains there, west side. And let's do that same thing with the right roller. You see up on the top right, or the mid right, actually we want to record again. So I'm going to back out, start the on-drone recording. So you're going to see remember the screen and how good the quality is of the on-drone recording. And first what I want to do is maybe get something closer to me. So there's the truck that we're in here. And I want to just zoom all the way into it. Clicking on the screen to try to focus on the subject. And that's a 9 times from, you know, we're probably about 150 feet away from that truck. So I'm going to turn back to the ocean. And let's do that same thing out here, long distance, with this telephoto lens. So turning that right roller to the right slowly and zooming in maximum 9 times. So at least you can do this. Not the best image quality when you start to zoom in like this, but it is pretty neat to see stuff that you couldn't even really make out. We'll just do a quick zoom in, shoop, all the way. Awesome. So at least you can do stuff like that. And we should be able to track like this. Before we get too low on battery, I'm gonna spin this thing around. There we go. Okay, so let's see if we can actually track in this zoom mode. This will be kind of neat. So I'm gonna press on me as the subject. And cool, so remember this is all the way, is this all the way zoomed in? Oh, okay. It won't do more than 3x for tracking. So I can't zoom in any longer. Let me try to X out on this box and then zoom in further and then try to track. So clicking on it, so see that? It automatically zoomed out to 3 times. So you cannot track closer than this. But at least you can do this. This is kind of neat, you know? A 3-time zoom for tracking. And it looks like we can do all the same stuff. Want to get a few more things in before the battery goes. We'll do that mid speed just in case.
Aircraft will return to the home point in 10 seconds.
Just cancel that because I'm close by, right? Awesome. So you can kind of see how as I'm walking, it's not quite as smooth as if it's zoomed out, but at least it tracks stuff. I'm going to stop that. I'm going to switch cameras back. Get out of tracking. Quick, quick, quick. Get out of there. Now we're going to do a return to home, okay? So let's fly a little bit this way just so we'll do the return to home. We'll start recording again and we will press return to home on the screen and just hold in the return to home. Boom.
Return to home. Low battery. Return to home promptly.
Wow, so why is it choosing to go over there? That's interesting. That was cool, but kind of wonky at the same time. So here he is. Landing here. So not as accurate as I thought. But at least it's within a few feet of our launch point. That was interesting. So remember, I launched from this bag right here, and that is definitely exactly just about 3 feet away. And that was strange how it was doing that kind of wonky path to come back home, and then it kind of spun around. We went through a lot of stuff. Let's get another battery and a new battery, get back up here in the air and test some other functions. I do want to go into that picture camera in there and see if we can test and see how nice those pictures are in the different modes. We also have all those other modes, remember those quick shots and stuff that we need to test out, so we'll also do that in this flight test. But so far so good. We're finding the little quirks, the things that work and the things that aren't perfect yet, and we're gonna keep going on this till we kind of test everything. So stay tuned. Let's put another battery in. All right guys, here we go, brand new battery in. We're also gonna do, remember, another return to home test just to see how accurate it is. I do want to launch it straight from this bag again. This time I'll try to just kind of go up maybe 30 feet straight up to give it the benefit of the doubt, just to make sure it has everything it needs to land correctly. Okay guys, so for this one, I'm gonna go straight up and kind of give it maybe about 30 feet of slow ascension. And even maybe just look at the bag, you know, 30, 40 feet. We'll go 40. And then we'll pick that camera up and go straight out. And I want to test some of these. Maybe we'll do the photo and then we'll do some of those quick shots after we test out this photo camera, okay? I'm gonna go a little further out so we're not hearing the drone right overhead. There, that's a little better, a little quieter. And let's get some shots here, just beautiful up here. So we're gonna do both cameras and we're gonna zoom in and out and stuff and get some shots. So this is just the basic 1x camera. This is 16:9 in all auto settings. Here we go, taking a shot. All right, so that's one shot. I'll have that up on the screen. Let's get some different angles here. There's more like a 45 degree. Take a shot. Maybe we'll just do one even lower, get part of the road there. Just so you can see the detail. Starting to get a little overcast, so you'll see how that looks. And we'll take one that's kind of high up. You see how it auto darkened a little bit. I'm gonna just click on the clouds in the center there. Take another shot. So that's standard camera. And now let's try to zoom in a little bit and take some more shots. So I'm clicking on that. I think that's a lavender farm down there. So I'm zoomed in all the way on the standard camera, just kind of focusing in. And let's take a shot. Okay, so this is how it looks all zoomed in. Just looks a little more pixelated to me, but at least you can zoom in a bit. Okay, let's get a picture of the ocean too. Don't want to leave that out. So we'll get just a picture of that point out there. Remember to click on anywhere where you want it to focus and take that picture. So remember, I'll have those guys up there so you can really see the resolution. Let's go ahead and switch to the other camera. So pressing the 3 up top for that telephoto. And we're gonna first just take a picture with the 3x. That's probably gonna be close to what we had at 2.9 on the other camera. Let's turn it this way a bit. Let's get that peak coming through the clouds and the ocean. That's a nice shot. So take one more shot of that and then we'll start zooming in. Okay, so now I'm gonna zoom in. We'll do one at each magnitude. So there's 4. And let's just turn the drone, since we're gonna get zooming in more, let's just turn to the west side bay there. And let's do a 5, so I'm just zooming in here. Whoops, zooms in pretty quick, so you're gonna have to go kind of slow. Wonder if we just tap it. Oh, there we go. I'm just tapping the yellow 3x, and that went straight to 6, and then I tap it again, it went to 9 maximum. So you have like 3 levels if you just tap it. But I want to go to 5. I just want to take a shot at each specific level so you can see the difference. So I'm not going to really change anything except I'm going to zoom into this point right here is what I'll do. So hitting the point, taking a picture at 5x. And from here, all I'm going to do is zoom in. Let's do 6, come back out a little bit. Clicking on that point, doing a 6x, zooming into 7, clicking on that point 7x. Let's do 8. Taking another shot. And guys, while I'm taking these shots, I will have them popping up. And it'll be kind of cool because this will be the same frame on this zoom scenario, so you'll be able to see that difference. Backing all the way out. So those are all the pictures, so pretty cool. Let's go back into the camera here. Let's do a quick little pano. Okay, set starting point C1. So that's the left bottom trigger of the controller. Rotate aircraft, place to change camera direction, select bottom right corner of panorama as the endpoint. Okay. Interesting. So you can rotate your craft. I'm just rotating the head now. And say I want my panorama. That's kind of new actually. I don't remember seeing that. Say I want my panorama to stop right there. And I'm just going to press C1 again. And okay, start capturing. And now the green start kind of lights up so I can start it. So it's going to go back and it's going to start doing, wow, that's cool. That has changed quite a bit from the last time I did this. Actually giving a real-time like virtual box to show you what you're capturing. You see on the right there, it's actually compiling it right now, 83%, and done. Cool. So say I want to do another panoramic of more of like up to the mountain. So I want to go from here. Now that I know how this thing's working, set position, and then we want to set our end position. So I want to go mountain to mountain side. So we'll do it right there. End position and start. So pretty easy to get the hang of it. That's pretty awesome. So see how that is with the camera auto adjusting and kind of taking all those shots. So remember, the wider you go, the more shots it's going to take and the longer it's going to take. So it seems like this part right here where it's kind of compiling, it's probably actually just stitching all the photos together to make one clean and nice pano shot. So again, guys, I'll have those up when those are completed so you can see all that. And you can see how everything just takes longer the more area you shoot. Let's try a little hyperlapse. So I want to try a hyperlapse where the aircraft isn't even moving. I guess we'll do a free on that, and then we'll just start our hyperlapse. Tap here to expand hyperlapse settings. So you can adjust everything down here. So I'm just going to do a quick little 5-second video, and the intervals are going to be 2-second intervals. If I don't touch the sticks in the free hyperlapse, it shouldn't go anywhere. So let's start recording. And so this will be kind of neat, the cloud movement. But it's going to do this for 4 minutes. So I'll go ahead and speed this part up so you don't have to wait 4 minutes for all these pictures. And there is a little bit of breeze too. I mean, the breeze is blowing kind of towards the front left of the drone at, I want to say about 5 to 10. Just a real slight breeze. But I think this will be kind of neat just to see some cloud movement and just see how this hyperlapse works. I remember having some trouble with the Air 3 when it first came out. The hyperlapse was really kind of wobbly when you started flying around, even when it was just hovering. So I'm anxious to see how actually stable this is with a little bit of wind hitting it. Some gusts are hitting it right now once in a while. So
Hyperlapse is ready to complete.
okay guys, here we go. So we just got a notification, voice on the controller, hyperlapse ready to complete. 3, 2, 1, completed. So again, it has to create the video, stitch all those pictures together, and
Video created successfully.
there we go. So it even tells you video created successfully. So that's all I want to do with the hyperlapse. That's going to be a super quick video. So remember, just about 5 minutes of shooting, I only got a 5-second video. So I'll have played that so you can kind of see the final result. But kind of neat if you want to get cloud movement. You can also move the drone around and do all these things right here, remember. We'll see how stable it was. I did hear the wind hitting it a few times, and the gusts, I could hear the propellers going like trying to power up to stop the gusts. So we'll see how smooth that was. All right, so let's do a master shot now. So master shot is just basically a series of quick shots, remember? So It does them all automatically. All you have to do is start somewhere and go for it. And this hasn't changed much in a while. Let's see if it's maybe a little bit different. Usually you want to have like a subject that's closer than those, you know, those mountains way over there. This is a van that we actually drove up here with. So I'm going to fly kind of right into it right here. And let's just draw a box like it's saying to over the van. Boom. And we're just going to do the basic master shots. So let's go ahead and start.
3,
And see what it does.
1.
So since this is a non-moving object, it's just kind of staying there. So it looks like with the master shots, you may not be able to track an object. It needs to be a stationary object. So it tells you on the bottom of the screen exactly what it's doing, circle far. And it's making all the clips by themselves. So you don't have to do anything, you know what I mean? So if you have a subject and you just want to, okay, I want to do a series of shots. I don't want to deal with anything else except, you know, getting it in frame and pressing a button. This is for you. There's a zoom in circle. So I know it's not the best subject, guys, but the environment is kind of cool around here. So it just does little clips like that. It's not going to do full circles. You know, it looks like it's just doing maybe 5 to 10 seconds each. So you can get some kind of neat effects. I'm just using this van as the subject just because it's kind of all we got around here, but at least you kind of get the drift of what's happening. We're at camera down and fly forward. So little clips, say you're making a movie and you just want to get some quick cuts with, and you want to spread them out, say throughout your film or something. Straight and descend, okay. That's heading towards the east or the west there. And then we're camera down and descend. So I'm not doing anything. I'm just holding the controller and talking with you guys while the drone's doing everything. Master shot complete, and it should come down to kind of where it left off. Interesting how the camera's staying downwards. Okay. So I'm recording the screen, so I can't really view that right now, but that's what master shots is. So I'll have that up so you guys can kind of see what's up with it. And it looks like it was defaulting at the 4K 30. And that was a problem I remember before, is if you were in 4K 30 or something, previous to going into quick shots or master shots, it would go to like 1080. So I'm glad they're giving you the same resolution you're in with the camera. They're keeping it at that for master, and let's see if it does the same thing for quick shots. Click over here to change your mode. Yeah, so it's staying, see at the bottom of the screen, it's staying 4K 30, which is what I wanted. So these are all the individual things of pretty much everything we just did, except for a couple. So I want to get kind of close, and we'll do maybe like a boomerang. So boomerang and then start. And all you can do here is, you see how you can choose the direction? Can you choose it? Yeah, left or right. And start.
3, 2.
Let's just see how that
1.
looks. Got to get the glasses on for this one. So say you're trying to do whatever. What this does is it kind of boomerang, comes in close, goes far out, comes back in close, gives you kind of a neat effect. So really kind of cool shots if you're on vacation or whatever. And there we go, boomerang has stopped. So we need to go into quick shots. And the only other one I want to do manually is the asteroid. This should be kind of neat. So let me click on me to track. And I want to get this cool background right here. And I want to get a neat asteroid shot. So let's see what it does. Okay, there we go. So the resolution, check it out at the bottom. It's still changing. 1080 30s, see that? And it looks like actually that is the maximum we can do with Asteroid. Okay. I thought they would have changed that. So is that the same for, I remember Boomerang was, yeah, Boomerang was 4K. Helix is 4K. So everything else looks like it can be 4K except Asteroid. So unfortunately, we're stuck with 1080 on Asteroid, guys. Let's just go ahead and start it.
3, 2, 1.
And let's see what it does. So blopping a GPS point right on me. It's not even tracking, visually tracking me anymore. It just triangulated a GPS point right there. And this has been around for a while. I think since the Spark could do this. Remember that Spark way back when, where it's just giving you a neat little world shot, where it's doing a pull out and then a spherical 360 degree sphere, kind of panorama sphere, and then it's stitching them all together and giving you the final product. So once this is done, I will also have this up. Looks like it's sped up a bit as the generations of drones keep getting newer. It's going a little quicker every time. I definitely can see that camera is moving faster between shots, so that's cool. Less time wasted. Okay, so it finished and now it's going to return. Let's see where it returns to. Definitely returning very slow. And it's not recording anymore. So the only recording it did was on the way out, and when it was up there, it took the pictures. So if you want to reverse that video, I'll probably have reversed it if you want to get a pull out. If you want to get a coming in, you'll reverse it to get a coming in. There was a slow motion. Maybe we'll try slow motion. Might as well try it while we still have some battery power. So we'll do a slow motion flyby maybe. Let's try this. So we'll come on back. We'll get this kind of neat mountain shot. Start the video and just fly right by as fast as possible. Here we go. Slow motion, fast flyby shot. It might even try to avoid me. Let's go. Full speed forward. That's flying pretty slow. That's in normal mode. So I will have had that up. I'm going to back it up and I'm going to try to go in sport. Okay, switching into sport. Still recording in slow motion and I can go into sport. That's great. And let's try this cool, really low ground effect. Obstacle avoidance are off, so I'm going to have to move out of the way for this. Let's try it. Sport. Oh, didn't have to move out of the way, but there we go. So anyway, that's the slow motion for you. I'm going to stop it here. And I just wanted to get a little bit of that so you can see what's going on with it. So let's go back into regular video, normal. And we're going to record at 4K 60 again. I'm just going to kind of fly out a bit. And let's do a return to home. Okay. We'll get up here right near the clouds and fly out here in sport. And I want to see how accurate it is on our return to home. So remember the gimbal up and down. Let's see how high I can go while we're doing this. In sport, it's going 48 degrees. If I stop, I can go up to 60. So remember, it limits that upward movement because the drone is tilting forward. Awesome. Looking really nice out here. A downward shot. So, okay, I'm going to hit return to home and let's just see how accurate it is this time. So on this one, yeah, we'll just hit the virtual return to home. Make sure you don't hit land unless you want it to land out there. You want to hit return to home.
Return to home.
Hold it down and it'll come on back. So there we are. It knows our home point. It's got the virtual stuff on, which you can turn off if you want to. You don't have to have those virtual things on. And returning to home, guys, I can't do anything except, remember, tilt the camera up or down if I want to while you're returning to home. It kind of locks you out of controls, which I guess is a good thing. So that bag right there is what I'm looking for on how accurate it is to land. So I will just be letting it do its own thing. Remember this flight, this launch, we went up and took it really slow, went up, and let's see if that makes a difference with this drone. So, oops, sorry about that. I'm gonna continue that return to home. I just had to put a new SD card in my handheld camera. So I just stopped the return to home mid-flight. So no harm done there. I'm not even gonna move the camera. It's doing this on its own. And I just want to see how close it gets. You would think it would try to land on that bag, but maybe not. If it lands there, okay, well at least it's telling us that. It's unstable ground, so I'm going to press OK. And I'm just going to pull it down right next to the bag. So if it came down right there, the propeller might nip the bag, see that? I'm just going to pull it on back and land right here. Just pulling down on the stick. Nice. Hang in there, this is going to be a long one, but I got more batteries to do and more stuff to do. So let's continue and push the limits on this thing. Okay guys, so for the next test, as you can see, we got some forest back here behind me. And I want to just put the drone up and track, and then from the sun into this dark forest, I want to walk in here, see how it avoids obstacles. It's going to be pretty low light in here. I may have to kind of, I'm thinking manually push it through some of the tight spaces, but it opens up into a trail, and then I'm going to try to walk down the trail and just see if how it is tracking, if they've actually made the product's better and it can do it in lower light, and if it actually hits any trees or tree branches. So let's give it a test. I'm just doing a hand launch here. So let's go ahead and give it a launcherino. Okay, so we're in the sun. Let's see how it transitions to the woods. So we'll do a track. Drawn the box around the subject, which is me, and then we're going to do an active track. So this will be interesting. I kind of have a feeling that it might have a hard time getting into these woods, into the trail, but I like to test these things, so let's do it. Here we go. I have no idea what to expect. This is the first time I'm doing this. Let me see if I can get any closer actually, just because I know that in woods, that's as close as I can get. Okay, so that's kind of as close, and I think as low. Let me try to pull down a bit. Yeah, so that's as close and as low as it's letting me get. And let's just see how it deals with this stuff. I am in cinematic mode, so the C mode up on the top left of the screen. You'll see that up there. I have no idea how it's going to deal with these trees and the shade, but wow. So you see the trouble it's already having. There's no way, it's just not going to find a hole. Maybe, let's just see. I mean, it's got great sensors. Let's see if I can search. So there's a hole to its right. If it just kind of went to the right, it could kind of come through. But you see how it just does not want to get in here. So I'm going to go out and try to lead it in. Oh, there we go. Hey, it was looking for spots. That's cool. So you see how we have these little branches? Just over here is where the trail is, but I just wanted to see if it could kind of get to me. You're going to be able to do it. There you go. Okay, it's trying. Wow. I have not seen a DJI drone do that before. Did you see that, guys? Bobbing and weaving through the small stuff. That was really cool. I haven't heard it hit any sticks yet. Come on, buddy. You try to get to me? Come on. Come on through. Come on now. I'm just gonna let it try to do something. It's thinking. Doing kind of this weird bob. There should be enough space for it, but it's kind of tight. I'm actually on the trail, but you guys can't see it yet because the drone's not here yet. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go get it. So I'm gonna kind of take over manually. So let's stop this track and let's just see if I can manually fly in here with all the sensors without hitting anything. So you see how I'm doing this manually with everything on? So I'm not sure why it just couldn't have done that. So they still need to work on maybe some pathway smarts on this thing. Come a little more forward, please. Come on. You can do it. Yeah, it doesn't want to get through those branches. So a little bit of limitations. Let's go ahead and switch into, I'm going to stop the tracking, switch into sport so it turns off all of the obstacle avoidance and just kind of fly it manually right through here. Wait a minute, it's still tracking? It's still avoiding? Whoa. It's still trying to avoid. I can't push forward. That's interesting, even though that's grayed out. Let's go back into cinema. Can we just squeeze through here, man? Nope, it's not letting me do it. Okay. So I'm gonna have to grab it, land it, guys, and then relaunch it on this trail. This is just too narrow for it right here. All right, so I literally just had to come through like 5 feet through that narrow portion, and I'm just literally just gonna launch it again right here.
Take off.
All right,
Point updated.
let's try this again. So, tracking subject. Active track. Don't hit the, whoa, it's trying to go back too close to that tree over there. That was freaky. All right, let's see how it does in this kind of low light down a trail. If it hits any trees, right? I don't have a bike to ride today. It's flashing up on the screen, strong environmental interference. Let's see if it can go through this portion. Ooh. It's getting close, man. It's really thinking about it. Come on, you can do it. Come on, don't lose me. Yeah, boy. So it's like you're, as far as narrow tracking and stuff, you're kind of better off getting the Neo and doing a self-track with no obstacle avoidance, because this ain't gonna go through, looks like anything less than 3 feet. I gotta mute that controller. Seems like it should be able to track me through here, because that's 4 feet wide and 5 feet high. Come on. Let's give it another chance. Let's see if I just get far away from it, if it'll try a little harder. Come on, man. Just do it. Nope. So still not good for tight little trails, guys. It's a good testament. It just canceled all of its tracking. See, after I was out of the scene for a while, completely canceled it. Now it's detecting me on the screen as a little X over me, a little cross. That's too bad. Let's see if I can just manually fly it through there, which I should be able to. Yeah. So I'm just pushing forward and I can manually fly it past all that stuff. It just didn't want to go on its own. So they need to work on, still need to work on some stuff. Let's start the tracking again after we got through there. One more time. Keep on going, finding the limits, right? Just a slow walk in cinematic mode. There shouldn't be anything too gnarly for it. It sure does like to warn me though. And I'm going downhill, guys, so this will be interesting if it maintains its level. Hope no mountain bikers are running through here. This is a mountain biker trail, I think, also. Just walk down here a ways and see what its limitations are. It's getting pretty low light in here. I'm not seeing any low light warnings yet. That's good. And remember, guys, we're going to do even another low light test. Oh, it decided to shoot that gap. That's good. We're going to do like a night test and everything with tracking. But you see, when it's just like, when it's automating and trying to track and it's just inches too narrow, there it goes. It finally found a way. It just seems like its calculations start to get a little bit weird and it takes a while. Wow, I'm surprised it went under that canopy right there. What's it gonna do with this big old branch? Ooh, go down, dude. Nice, okay. Wow, actually surprising me now. Maybe it's getting smarter as it tracks. I have no idea. Okay, don't lose me now. You're on a good momentum here. Come on. I would hate for a mountain biker just to like run into it, flying down. So you're seeing the limitations. So apparently I can fly through this kind of thing. We're getting a warning there, environmental interference. But it's just not smart enough to know how to get through on its own. See that? So like if I stopped it, let's just stop. It doesn't want to go. And I canceled the track. And I'm just going to push forward. See, that's what gets me. I'm just pushing forward with all obstacle on. And it's finding its path. So I don't know why it can't do that on its own. You know what I mean? This is completely, all I'm doing is pushing forward. It's going left and right, up and down. And I'm doing nothing else. It's deciding. Whew. See if I can go lower here. Okay. Clicking on myself again. Click. Active track. Okay, follow. Follow, please. You can see how that ring is just lighting up with obstacles, right? It just starts to get really slow and hesitant. Man, I wish it could do better narrow tracking. But you know, I guess there's just limitations to everything. There it goes. See how slow it took to do that? Now it's trying to speed up to catch up. Let's see what it does around this corner. In the nice bright sunlight. I haven't heard it hit a branch or leaf yet. I don't want to speak too soon because that could happen immediately, but. So remember, this is in and out of shade and low light. Does seem to be doing pretty good. Just go to the right, buddy. Come on. Where are you going, dude? Oh, crap. It's hitting leaves. Okay. Started to hit leaves right there. Woo! Ooh, don't. Oh, frick. Yep, it's stuck in a tree. Okay, there's our live view. Where are you, buddy? That's right there. Holy smokes. So we found the limits to forest tracking, guys. There she is. Just right in this tree. Doesn't look like we have... Man, it just really wedged itself in here. Look at this. So that's what happens. That propeller tip broke off. This propeller set's fine. This propeller set's fine. So the two backs are fine. The two fronts I'd want to replace because there's some chew ups on the front side of the propellers, and this propeller is no good anymore. So we found the limitations, guys, of the 3S in narrow trail wood tracking. You just don't really want to let it be on its own. It seemed to do way better just kind of pushing and it guiding itself while you push forward, and I have no idea why they can't meld those two together and it can make its own decisions, but improvements it can make. That's going to wrap up the woods. What I want to do is a super low light, like nighttime tracking, maybe not so much of a cluttered obstacle area, and let's try that.